Greetings and thanks again for tuning in. David J Coon with Qigong Awareness. And we are going over Qigong for Beginners, your path to greater health and vitality. Sorry about that glow. And we're on chapter 7 right now. So we just covered chapter 6. If you haven't seen chapter 6, check it out. It's probably the longest video of all the chapters so far. It is. And there's a reason for it because it's a very concentrated topic there. But we're on to chapter 7. So, chapter 7, this is where we go from what I would say is like positive thinking, even more to understanding the difference between the way I explain it, the way I use it, is primary thinking versus secondary thinking. So, it's interesting, like using an example from Tony Robbins again. Tony Robbins talks about strategy, for example, being like 80%. I'm sorry, psychology being 80% of how things are going in somebody's life, how things are going in somebody's business, and then 20% is like the strategy that you're going to use. So the point there that I just want to make is like psychology is very, very important. And granted, I have a psychology background, psychology major, graduated from, University and of Connecticut, and it plays a big role in my healing process. So even though Qigong plays and has played a big role in my healing process, remember the detail of the story that I shared from 15 to 25 years old. I'm trying to heal my spine and I'm practicing Qigong and I'm doing all this kind of stuff, but it wasn't working. Okay. And my spine was getting worse. On some level, there were things that were happening in the background. So on some level, I do believe it was working. But if it worked straight away, probably would have never even gone to the university. I wouldn't have studied psychology. I wouldn't have tried to understand that realm of things. I wouldn't have continued to go on and study molecular cellular biology to understand that realm of things. So when I come to you guys and I share with you my views, my ideas, the concepts that I'm sharing with you. I'm sharing a lot of book knowledge. That is true, 100%. Like I said, I went to the University of Connecticut. In fact, I was there for 8 years. Took me 8 years of psychology training and so on and so forth. Could have done it quicker, but I was teaching martial arts at the time as well and studying martial arts many hours every day. So uh, there's a lot of book knowledge there. And I studied molecular cellular biology for 4 years at the University of Colorado, CU Boulder. I also became an emergency medical technician in Connecticut. I have backgrounds in hard style martial arts, soft style martial arts. So I have a lot of different intellectual knowledge and book knowledge and everything that I bring to what I do, but there's also a physical, practical application to what I do, and I'm all about embodying. It's not just about giving you some psychology or philosophy that sounds good or looks good in a book. We have to bring it into our body. We have to speak to ourselves. They listen, and modern biology and modern physics and various forms of psychology are starting to understand that the body listens. And we're starting to understand that in quantum physics, this idea behind the observer observing, the observer doesn't just observe, the observer instructs the energy. So we want to do everything we can to rearrange the energy in a way that would be pleasing to us. Why not? If you can, and we can potentially, why not do it? All right. So, chapter 7, primary thinking versus secondary thinking. All right. I chose Tony Robbins again for this one. Um, I have some other ways of doing it, but this is a way in which like it fits, like it matches something that I do and that I learn through various forms of Qigong and martial arts and psychology anyway. And I like Tony Robbins, so It's another shout out to Tony Robbins. So here we go. I now command my subconscious mind to direct me to helping as many people as possible today to better their lives by giving me the strength, the emotion, the persuasion, the humor, the brevity, whatever it takes to show these people and get these people to change their lives now. Tony Robbins. Now, listen to how I said that, right? I didn't say, I now command my subconscious mind to direct me to helping as many people. But I tell you what, if you haven't dialed in your mood and you haven't dialed in your attitude, and you are already in a situation where you feel defeated, where you feel run down, where you feel broken, where you feel wounded, where you feel hurt, where you feel all of those things that I've felt for many years of my life, if you're in that state and you're in that place and you're in that victimization mode, the victim mode, and I've been there, I'm not going to judge you for being there, then that's how we're going to we're going to typically say it. I now command my subconscious mind to direct me, right? But I'm asking you to pick yourself up and start using the power in your voice. And when you start using the power in your voice, literally your insides will be going, you're full of baloney. You're full of crap. Just like the guy on Amazon who told me I was full of crap and it was just another book on positive thinking. It's okay. It's all right. Brush it off. So, anyway, so when you pick yourself up, when somebody says to you, like, you're run down, you're feeling broken and broke or whatever, and somebody says, pick yourself up, stand up, man, get a spine, right? Anything like that, right? When somebody's broken and tired and feeling victimized and so on, it is very hard to even act as if they're courageous. Speak even one time as if they have the command of the room. Very, very difficult. But I'm going to tell you a secret, and I share it with you in my book, and I share it with you in the programs that I do, and I'm here to share with you that not only does it work, but I hope to help you bring it about because chapter 7 is another one of those chapters in my book that has to do with some of the most difficult stuff when it comes to healing yourself. And I put it in a nutshell in chapter 7, and I teach you ways how to bring it into actual practice. So we have to shift our mood. In our mood and our state and our energetic state, they can be shifted by our thoughts, and not just our thoughts, although, yes, but also our words. And not just our thoughts and our words, but our thoughts and our words and our attitude. If we can fake it, we have this saying, fake it till you make it. Some people like that, some people don't. There's times where we might use that, there's times where we might not use that. But for right now, understand this idea of just getting up and trying to act. So imagine that I was an actor, because I am. Everybody's an actor on the stage of life. Shakespeare said it, I'm saying it. Everybody's an actor or an actress on the stage of life. So imagine they give me this line, okay? And they say, all right, David, we want you to read this line from Tony Robbins. We want you to get up and we want you to read this line. So I go, okay. And then they go, say it like Tony Robbins would say it. And I go, okay. I now command my subconscious mind to direct. The director's going, you're fired. You're fired. Stop. Stop. Because Tony Robbins is never going to read it like that. So it is challenging when you are in a down state, a bummer state, broken state, a bad news state, got all this bad news going on around you. It is very difficult to look down and just even take a line from Tony Robbins and say, I now command my subconscious mind. Very difficult to go, I now command my subconscious mind to direct me to helping as many people as possible today to better their lives by giving me the strength, the emotion, the persuasion, the humor, the brevity, whatever it takes to show these people and get these people to change their lives now. They go, hey, you're hired. Okay, not that that was Tony Robbins, but it was much more courageous and much more upbeat and everything than the first time I read through. Wouldn't you agree? So, in this, one of my favorites because of my path and background, it's just something that I created, and I lend it to you in my book. Just I lent you that one too because you could walk around and use Tony Robbins here and see if that motivates you, inspires you, and shifts your mood. So primary thinking is you wake up in the morning, for example, and secondary thinking, biology thinking says to you, oh, I'm tired. I don't feel up to it. I don't know if I'm going to go to work today. And then you sit down and you read this. I now command my subconscious mind to direct me to helping as many people as possible today, and you go, you run. Okay. This has the power to change your state of energy if it's done with the right attitude. It's not about simply positive thinking. It's more than that. It's attitude, it's fire, it's passion. You have to dig down inside yourself and pull it up from your soul. That's when you make a difference in this dynamic. And you here's another way of thinking about it. Secondary thinking is like echoes from your biology. If the most I've ever done in my life is go up 5 flights of stairs, that's too many. Let's say 5 steps up the mountain. That's the most I've ever done. Well, when I come up with the idea that I can go 10, which is double the number of steps, why should my biology believe me? Why should my biology believe me? The only thing that's encoded in my biology is that I've gone 5 steps. Until I go 10 steps, which is probably going to take a little bit of what? Discipline. Probably going to take a little bit of courage. Probably going to take a little bit of maybe some secret breathing practices, some secret moving practices, etc., that can get us going in the right direction to help us go the 10 steps to prove to our biology that not only is it possible, it's probable, and we can make it happen. So, primary thinking is when you start hearing, for example, this would be one way. Primary thinking, I just told you, is when you're getting out of bed, but I'll give you another example. You're sitting there and you're hearing, my body's in pain, I'm tired, whatever's going on. I'm feeling down. Things are kicking my butt in my life. And I go, enough. I'm not going to sit here and stew because I know that having a bad mood sitting in my living room with bad energy is not going to be good for my personal reality and creating my personal reality with the law of attraction, so to speak. It's not going to be a good thing. So I need to get off of my butt. I need to go outside. I need to practice some breathing practices. I need to go for a walk, and I'm going to borrow this incantation from David Coon, for example, which is in here, which I shared with you earlier in one of the earlier videos. Um, you throw some cold water on your face. I am the supreme grandmaster creator of my personal reality, and I have total dominion over my life. And I could take that incantation and I could couple it with this incantation. I could say, I now command my subconscious mind to direct me to helping as many people as possible. I could start writing down my own incantations, and incantations are different than mantras, by the way. Mantras can be very profound too for another reason. But right now, I'm going to just say an incantation is like taking charge. You stand up and you speak it over your water, over your body with attitude. Man, it's amazing what you can do. You can really shift and change what your subconscious mind believes is and is not possible. And when you shift that subconscious mind, you're going to shift it all the way down into your biology. And that's when you're going to see changes happening in your life. So I wanted to read that to you because not only did I want to give you a preview of chapter 7 for those of you who haven't read the book, but I also wanted to give you a little bit of my attitude and a little bit of my explanation for those of you that have already read the book and you maybe you didn't get it. Maybe you're like, I'm not really sure what he's talking about. And now you have a better idea. This is another example right here, okay? Probably see that in faint view. So I'm standing on a tree, the bottom half of a tree, and there's some grass and stuff here in the background, and this is on the edge of a rock cliff on the back side. And if I fall off of there, I'm going to probably break every bone in my body. So wasn't I don't recommend this, but it was something that I chose to do that day. I climbed up on to this tree here with bare feet. And as I was doing it, the tree was creaking and cracking. I could literally feel it cracking down to its root. The first time, two times I climbed up on this, I got to right here about to here. And I said to my photographer, no, can't do it. Climbed back down, walked away. We were going back to the car, and I said, you know what? I have to do it. And so I walked back there, I climbed up, I got here to where I was standing on the tree with my feet there. And there was no way. I was like, I cannot get my arms up in the air. There's no way because literally, as I started to move, the tree would creak and crack, and like literally, my death is sort of on the other side. I'm definitely going to the hospital. I can tell you that, if I'm lucky enough to survive it. But I had it in my head that I create my reality, and I really wanted, and I can't show it to you here, but if you check it out in the book, if you do get the book or whatever, even the ebook, I want you to look at my face because in 3 seconds of holding my arms like this, my photographer Lisa captured the look on my face. And the look on my face is one of the main reasons I wanted the picture because it literally captured such intense focus. Because really, this is my high wire that day. And I wanted to prove to myself that I could hold a particular focus and be very, very clear with my mind because your mind is so, so very important. And when we take the mind and the power of that focus and we put some words to it and we put an incantation to it and we put some attitude to it, listen carefully, we shift the energy, which shifts our state, which shifts our mood, which takes us back to chapter 6, which then determines who and what shows up in our life. And that is chapter 7. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back to see you for chapter 8. Thanks, guys.